The presentation of the colors is brought to you by the United States Coast Guard.
Chief's mess, attend, hut!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Joe Lott and the UMS-Wright Bulldogs. They don't play the Vigor Wolves very often. Michael Towner from Vigor wants to make this one a game to remember. Two teams have only met 12 times before, and only the third time since 1960. Two of the winningest programs in Mobile will match up tonight here on Friday Night Rivals.
This is Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals, presented by Sonic.
UMS-Wright coach Terry Curtis, just 7 wins of becoming the all-time winningest coach in Alabama history. Tonight goes up against Marcus Cook and the Vigor Wolves. Coach Cook in his 5th game as a head coach, and it's a matchup of 2 top 10 teams in 5A in the state of Alabama tonight. Unbeaten UMS-Wright on top of the polls at number 1. Vigor comes in ranked number 8 for this 5A Region 1 matchup. Good evening. I'm Jim Cox, my partner Dan Brennan, and boy, two coaches, super young, 27 for Coach Cook, and Coach Curtis has been here for 24 years at UMS-Wright. But I think one thing you see here, both teams kind of like to do the same things under their coaches.
They like to run the ball.
Yep.
They like to stop the run. And this is interesting. You got the youngest coach probably in the state of Alabama.
Yep.
And a guy that we thought was going to be retired a few years ago.
Right.
Still going at it tonight.
This Vigor Wolves team, they had the one game they lost against BC Rain in week 2. I think that was kind of a wake-up call, Coach Cook said. But one player they have that is going to be kind of all over tonight, and maybe Coach Cook doesn't even want him as much on the field as he's going to be. Yeah. But, boy, Michael Towner was a guest in the pregame show, and he's a handful.
He is a man. You almost have to have him on the field as much as you can. And they struggle a little bit on offense, so he provides offense at the Wildcat. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's 6'2", 245.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a lot to bring down. But you're right. Cook would rather keep him on defense so he can deal with what UMS has got.
Yeah, UMS, running the football, it's been a hallmark of Terry Curtis's teams here tonight, and they've got a great one we've watched in the past couple of years here. Physically not a guy that wows you, but there's a reason he's already been offered and committed to South Alabama.
Yeah, Cole Blaylock, and he's going to stay local, so his local family and fans can keep an eye on him in college as well. This guy's got over 700 yards rushing in just a handful of games or less already this year. He's shifty, he's strong, and he's certainly fast enough. I know a lot of people want to get a look at Cole Blaylock and see what's behind the numbers that he puts up.
Yeah, he's also one of those guys who can change the game. We saw it here a few years ago on special teams. He can take one to the house, returning a punt or a kickoff. As we get ready for this matchup here tonight, we're on Old Shell Road. It's Vigor and UMS tonight on Friday Night Rivals. We kick it up right after this, but first, this message from the City of Mobile and their Kindness Counts campaign. Friday night rivals from Ervin S. Cooper Stadium here in Mobile on Old Shell Road. 5A Region 1 matchup. Couple of top 10 teams doing battle tonight. UMS-Wright ranked number 1 and the Vigor Wolves ranked number 8 as we get ready for our Mobile County Sheriff's Office coin toss here tonight. You see the captains out there for UMS on the near side. Matthew Hedge along with Jansen Graham. Stephen Greenleaf out there along Reed Carpenter for the Vigor Wolves. Tonight's captains include Jerry and Graham. He's their big target, wide receiver. Also out there, Brandon Purifoy as Vigor wins the toss. Michael Towner out there as well. And get our last captain for the Wolves, Jermaine Holcomb as well. So Vigor wins the toss, and they want the ball to start this one. Let's go down to the sidelines and welcome in the third member of our crew, Heather Healy, on the near sideline. Good evening, Heather.
Good evening, gentlemen. For the first time since 2007, these two storied programs meet on the field tonight with a very aggressive UMS-Wright offense, averaging 32 points a game, going against a very aggressive Vigor defense. They're just allowing shy of 7 points a game. So we're going to see if these Wolves are going to tame these Bulldogs tonight or if it's the other way around, guys.
All right, thanks, Heather. Marcus Cook, 27 years old, is the head coach of the Vigor Wolves, was an assistant on this team last year that won the 4A state championship. And you and I got to know him a little bit during the week and then had a great talk down on the field before the game. And the thing that struck us both is like the job does not seem too big for a 27-year-old head coach at Vigor.
No, I think it's just his personality, his outlook on life. He's a very mature guy. And everybody keeps asking him, are you excited about having the job? And he looked at us and he laughed. He said, I'm too busy doing the job.
Too busy. I got to work.
Yeah. And we were really impressed with him. So he is somebody you should be impressed with, and really takes it nonchalant. 27, head coach. It's almost like, yeah, I should be this head coach.
Yep, this is what I do. Played at Vigor, played at Jacksonville State. Was an All-American at Jacksonville State as well. So and a contrast,
Jackson State.
Contrast in who we have leading these two programs. Just you have a young coach up and coming with a bright future in front of him. Then you have a guy who's just 7 wins away from becoming the all-time winningest coach in Alabama history, as he just needs 6 to tie Buddy Anderson, of course, from Vestavia Hills. 346 for Buddy Hills. Coach Curtis 6 behind there to tie. He is in his 24th year here at UMS. 8 state championships, 16 region championships. They won the state title 3 times back in 17, 18, and 19. Been in the Hall of Fame, Alabama High School Athletic Associated Hall of Fame since 2004. So we're going to take a timeout here. We have a medical emergency in the stands that our first responders are dealing with here prior to tonight's kickoff. So we'll take a timeout and then we'll come back. And hopefully everyone's all right, and we'll be able to get this one started here tonight in Mobile. So we have a medical emergency over on the far sideline here tonight, and certainly do not want to speculate on anything, but they have sent both teams back to their respective locker rooms, and there's an ambulance on site here for the game, and then another ambulance was brought in, and this happened just moments after the coin toss. Just ready to start this one here. So
right at 7:05, it became evident something was not going well on the in the Vigor stands here at UMS-Wright. Stands to the eastern side of the stadium, and now with an ambulance to transport is there now, and we're going to see if Heather's got anything further in just a moment.
Has just a hush has fallen over the crowd here, understandably, with so much excitement, just ready to kick this one off when word came of the situation over on the far sidelines.
23 years, I think we've kind of seen it all. I don't know that we've seen this right as kickoff was to happen. The emergency.
We had a game delayed. A cheerleader blew out her
St. Michael.
ACL, I think, prior to a game that delayed a game. All right, we'll take a timeout and keep you posted here from UMS-Wright. Prior to kickoff, have medical emergency over in the Vigor stands. All right, we continue to monitor the situation on the far side prior to just minutes.
Moments.
Yeah, before kickoff, there was an emergency over on the Vigor sideline, and ambulance is there. Heather's down on the field. Heather.
Yeah, guys, officials told me a gentleman was in the stands. He collapsed. They performed CPR on him. He's in an ambulance right now. We don't know the status of him right now, but he is in the ambulance.
Oof. Wow.
Just a tragic start to our night, visiting with the coaches, talking to the players, getting ready for a really big game. These teams do not play each other very often. Jamie made mention of that in the open. And then out of the blue, something like this happens. Very sad, hopefully, with a good ending. But it has put kind of a cloud over this whole event here tonight at Ervin S. Cooper Stadium.
You wonder what, I'm sure UMS officials and Vigor officials trying to get a handle on what's next. Here, boy, that's a big emotional thing for the Vigor Wolves to deal with. Just the stands are very close to that visitor side over there.
The ambulance you see right there is not the one. That's the one that's on site. Behind it, there you see the one with the active flashers going. I believe that's where he is. And hopefully, again, it's going to have a good outcome. And we can report that favorable outcome later on after we get this game underway.
Yeah, we're going to take another break here, and you can see the officials down at the far end having a little chat as well. We're back to UMS after this. So just about 20 minutes ago, we were about to get this game started here, and all of a sudden we got an announcement that there would be a delay. There was a medical emergency over on the Vigor stands, and Heather reported that a gentleman collapsed over there, and medical officials were working on him, and they were able to get him down to the transport ambulance that you see getting ready to leave here. The other ambulance was on site for the game, and just you would guess that they were probably the first responders up there to deal with the situation, and called in for the other ambulance.
Yeah, they were here in the stadium or at the school, and they were the first ones there. And the ambulance you see with the active lights is the one that drove into the stadium. And I don't think any of that was easy either, trying to get them to navigate in and find their way around to the other side of the track and the other side of the football field. So all we know right now, and Heather's going to try to get more facts for us, but apparently the person that was suffering is now in that ambulance, and
you're going to have to allow the players some warm-up time to come back. As you see, the ambulance now will leave the stadium. They have put 3 minutes up on the clock, and boy, somebody on that Vigor Wolves sideline knows that
Yep.
person, and probably a lot of them know that
Yep.
person, as tight as that community is here. And
Boy, the ambulance with its siren and flashing lights on leaving the football stadium. I don't know that we've seen that before, but we're seeing it right now. And there was a prayer earlier here at the game, and I'm sure there's a lot of silent prayers going on right now.
Boy, and we talked about Marcus Cook, head coach of Vigor, our young head coach, and a challenge to make sure get his team mentally back together for this one. Back down the sidelines to Heather.
Guys, a UMS-Wright staff member told me that they're going to do a halftime warm-up worth 3 minutes as soon as the ambulance leaves, and then they're going to pick up game time and get this game started.
Okay, so the young men will need to come back out here, and I mean, they've been, it's 20 minutes now. They've been you know, standing or sitting wherever they're at, where they were already warmed up and ready to get this one underway. Wow.
Jimmy, it was interesting the way that they made that decision very quickly to get both teams back and away from all of this. So that decision was made almost immediately. So kudos to the powers that be, more than likely UMS-Wright here, since it's their home game. But I think they made the right call to get the kids away from all the activity and allow them to focus before the game, because we are going to have a football game starting in about, I would say, 10 minutes from right now.
See some of the Vigor coaches back out on their sidelines, and boy, just a can't help but just send good thoughts for all involved over there on that Vigor sideline. And how we see the players will come back out here and get a little warm up in it. Yeah, it's almost feels like, as Heather said, it's almost like they're coming out from halftime to get this one hopefully underway, and hopefully we get some good news, as good as news as can be hoped for at this point.
You know, and UMS has got to get limbered up. I think for Vigor, the task is a little bit taller. There might be even some news over there on who the fan was, who the fan is, who the fan is related to, and if in fact that's the case. So Vigor might be dealing with a little bit more. As they come out, they're going to have to really get set emotionally all over again.
And certainly one thing we won't do is pass along any speculation or anything that possibly could filter through from over there, but hopefully we'll be able to get
From this point, we got a football game. We can pray and assume for the best, and then turn our attention to this game here tonight between two powers in the city of Mobile who rarely play each other.
Yeah, just have not played since 2007, and and Terry Curtis was talking about the fact that he said, I've been playing these guys since my Shaw days, going all the way back to Shaw High School, and then of course when he was at Murphy High School. So he's been playing them for a long time. But these schools played every year from 1951 through 1960, and then since then they played in 2006, 2007 when they were both in 5A, and then haven't played since. And that was when UMS got bumped up to 5A, and UMS, I think they went 6-7 that year. I think that was the only year Coach Curtis didn't have a winning record, but still went to the third round of the semifinals, third round.
I remember they started out on the road and had to play way up around Birmingham and won that game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So what you know, they benefited from playing in the region because they were ready to go once they got into the playoffs.
And there's head coach Marcus Cook. As we got a couple of minutes here, and if we can take another timeout before we get this one kicked off here at UMS. We'll come back and have a kickoff delayed with a medical emergency here tonight from UMS. So just had a moment of silence for the patient who over on the Vigor sideline. If you're just tuning in, just moments before kickoff, a medical emergency. A gentleman lost consciousness and was taken by ambulance from the game and had a delay. Both teams were cleared from the field, and now at 7:28, we're ready to kick this one off. Vigor won the toss, and they decided they wanted the football to start this game. And Vigor's offense, as we've talked about, has struggled a bit this year. They've scored just more than 7 points in one game, but they've only given up more than 7 one time all season. So,
yeah, they had a big game against Citronelle and a win there. Upset by BC Rain. Also a win over Williamson last week.
Yep, shutout Williams. They've had 2 shutouts. They gave up 7 points last week in their win, but then that 20-7 loss at the hands of BC Rain.
So unusual to see the crowd in green from Vigor across the way here at UMS-Wright.
Kingston fan with the kick. Goes back inside the 5. Kevin Malone out there for the Vigor Wolves across the 20. And this Vigor offense will come out. Sophomore Kelvin Brisker will be the quarterback that leads the Wolves. I want to run the ball out with Ja'Cory Barnes. He was a great player for him last year as just a sophomore. He's got over 200 yards on the year. If they do throw it, they'll want to get it out of the outside to Jerry and Graham. But Brisker, just a sophomore quarterback, 3 touchdowns and a couple interceptions on the season. He was a basketball player, right?
Yes, he is. Got to found him in a PE class.
Give it off to Barnes on the first play, and Barnes breaks one across the 30, and he's across the 35, and that's going to be good for a USA Health Systems first down on the first play of the game. Take a look at the starting lineup. Vigor, Brisker, we talked about him. Barnes, Graham is who they like to go to on the outside. DeBose, Poe, Tucker, Hunt, and Christian up front. Back again to Barnes, and he'll get dragged down by the senior Thomas Hall there from UMS, but another pickup of, he'll get 8 on this one. And this UMS defense giving up 14 a game. Gave up 28 last week to Gulf Shores. That's a lot of points for a UMS defense to give up. Greenleaf on the outside there. Dean and Holberg, Mosteller, Hall, and Lee. And then the pitch, or we kept this time by Brisker, and he's going to move the chains. Didn't have far to go, and we see some tempo early on here from Vigor, Dan Brennan.
Yeah, they wanted the ball, they wanted it, and they're running tempo. Not trying to slow this thing down, coming right at UMS-Wright and really having some success here in the first drive.
Marcus Cook talked about the conditioning. Big part of that, he thinks the Wolves are in really, really good shape 5 weeks into the season. And see the good size there on Brisker, almost 6'1", going to look to throw it for the first time here tonight. Wants to go down the far sideline, hangs it up, intercepted by Joe Lott. Joe Lott comes up with a pick, his 3rd of the year, and now Lott with a big speed, and there's going to be a flag, maybe a block in the back, but Lott comes up with a pick at the 37-yard line. Double coverage back there, and the junior comes up with the interception. Vigor was moving the ball well.
Yeah, they were moving it well. Then they went ahead and took their shot after having some success on the ground. 2 defenders were there, and Lott who's really a good football player. Terry Curtis paid him a great compliment when we met with him ahead of the game.
Brisker threw that one. A good coverage, had help behind as well from Jansen Graham, and got Joe Lott last week. So here's what that young man did. Returned to kickoff 31 yards, rushed it 8 times for 42 yards and a touchdown. Came in at quarterback, was 3 for 4, 34 yards, 2 touchdowns. Had 2 receptions for 45 yards. Oh, and then knocked down the potential game-tying touchdown on the last play of the game in the end zone.
Yeah, other than that.
And a couple of coaches said he was the best player on the field last night in that game with the UMS win. And now backfield, we'll see Cole Blaylock, and Blaylock has got a first down and more, and Blaylock up near the 39-yard line. And Blaylock already over 700 yards on the year, and we're going to see a healthy dose of him tonight, Dan Brennan.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if they run it right at Towner, who's the big guy we highlighted before the game, because Tanner might be, his strong suit might be pursuing the football rather than playing it at the point of attack. We'll see. We'll see what UMS-Wright thinks.
Out of the shotgun. Blaylock up the middle, cuts it back, and he's going to get to the 48. He'll pick up 8 on first down. This UMS offense averaging 32 points a game. Sutton Snipes, the quarterback. We'll see some other folks in there. Joe Lott, maybe even Blaylock playing some quarterback. Blaylock, Barchavers, the blocker, Hedge, and Willis. Yance, the big tight end. Otts, Watts, Crane, Peterson, and Breel. Big up front, bigger than we're used to seeing for UMS. Watts at 225. Crane at 270. Breel at 289. Blaylock into Wolves territory. Another USA Health Systems first down to the 48.
He's been breaking tackles since his sophomore year, and that's what got our attention. Breaking tackles and really good balance, and it serves him really well.
Vigor defense giving up just 6.8 points a game. Davis with 27 tackles on the year. Poe Lang had a really good game last week against Williamson. Towner, we've talked so much about. Crosby, the other Lang brother there at linebacker. Purifoy also really well. Jaleel Johnson, Farron Brown. Holcomb, the Alcorn State commit. And the sophomore Kevin Malone in the backfield, and pressure this time. And Towner got some help. Poe, I think, was the first one in there. And Towner came in to finish off Blaylock for a loss of 4 on first down. Reginald Poe came in and was able to disrupt that one, and he was one of the players that Michael Towner highlighted in our pregame show when he said he played really well. The rest of my D-line line mates in that win over Williamson last week, the shutout.
He was nice enough to give us a scouting report right there on the set and give a shout out to the other. It's not just Towner. They've got good defensive linemen across.
2nd and 14, hanging this one up far side, and it's deflected as they tried to come to Joe Lott there, and Sutton Snipes, the lefty, double coverage there, and it bounced off the helmet of the defender back there in coverage for the Wolves. That was Holcomb we talked about. He's now going to get credited for his 6th pass breakup of the year. Going to Alcorn State, has 3 picks on the year. So we got some ball hawks in the secondary on both sides of the ball here tonight.
I would agree.
And now 3rd and 14 for the Bulldogs. Blaylock at midfield. Now Moore still on his feet. And he's going to be close to the first down. It's going to be just a little shy, but you would think the way UMS been run the ball, you would think the Bulldogs would try to see if they can push the Wolves defense back. Here's going to need a long, we'll call it 2.
Yeah, first of all, really good blocking on the left side.
Look who's downfield helping on the tackle. Towner all the way down.
Yep. He's a little bit frustrated because they're not coming his way, and he is pursuing and making a play against that guy right there. It's going to be Towner and Blaylock a lot of this game colliding.
McMahon splits out wide. Now UMS will go heavy personnel and under center. Give him to Blaylock, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down. Brandon Purifoy came in and made the stop. His 8th tackle for a loss for the Vigor Wolves. And after the interception, by the Bulldogs. The Wolves defense answers and comes up with a stop. You don't see Blaylock get hit for, many losses behind the line of scrimmage. The Wolves did it twice on that series.
What do they always say? Start him before he gets started. Get back there. Penetration will slow down a good running back. It did right there. And we did see that meeting of Towner and Blaylock, which, again, we'll probably see a good bit tonight. Great stop by Vigor.
Now the Wolves will go double tight end under center with Brisker. Hand it off Barnes to the 45. Vigor's moved the ball on the ground.
Yes.
So far here tonight.
They really have. It's been aggressive running, and it's been pretty good blocking, too.
Good size. Went behind 6'3", 315-pound sophomore Micah DeBose there. Pickup of 6 on first down for the junior Barnes. He'll get it on the right side this time. Nice hole as he gets up near midfield before Thomas Hall, the senior, pulls him down, and third down coming up.
Really impressed with what Vigor's done here offensively.
Got Poe with a nice block there. It's Nicholas Poe to help open things up, and 3rd and a yard for the Wolves.
Kelvin Brisker was throwing a football in PE. He's a basketball player. He was a JV basketball player last year, and now he's the quarterback from that.
He'll go under center, gives it off. Barnes going to have the first down on the left side, bangs ahead.
I was going to say that audition, he didn't even know he was having.
That was Kerry Coleman. They brought him in. And Coleman, the senior, got the carry, and another USA Health Systems first down up to the 47.
You can see this game means something to Vigor. These kids have not been inside the stadium before. They haven't played this team before. They've heard about them over and over.
Sure.
A chance to play against them looks like it's really got them excited.
Reigning 4A state champions. Quick pitch. Coleman again. And Coleman, this time he's going to be hit for a loss of 1. Hayden Nagy in to make the stop for the Bulldogs.
Son of Jim Nagy, Senior Bowl executive director.
Yep. So no gain, and 2nd and 10 now here for Vigor Wolves. Vigor state champs, 87, 88, 2008, and last year in 2021. They were dominant last year on their way to beating Aniana for the state championship. 2nd and 10. Now, Moore grounding on the near side as Detrania Womack comes in from his linebacker spot. He's
right there. They brought another field.
Looks like a linebacker running the football back there. Picked up about 4 and 3rd and 6. Here for the Wolves. Approaching 4.5 to go in the opening quarter. Graham split out to the top again. That's leading receiver, 9 receptions on the year. Brisker steps up. Little cross has that one. Wanted it at the 30, just overthrew it by a hair. It'll bring up 4th down. And Vigor will send out their punting unit.
Coach was proud of his special teams, so let's get a look at him now.
Talked about it in our pregame show, how much they work on special teams. Reginald Poe will come in to punt, and Cole Blaylock has changed quite a few games around in his UMS career with a return. Pressure coming, and Poe got it up at a very short kick. Takes a good Vigor hop to about the 25, maybe the 24. So UMS came on the pressure. This was very close to being blocked. Pretty good snap. It just took Poe a little while to get it off, but the pressure coming there from the safety, John Charles Ervin.
Yeah, I think Ervin was a little surprised he didn't get it. He looked back like, what happened? But that's a Terry Curtis coach team specialty. Those special teams and those those blocks. We've been watching that for 23rd year.
And from the 23, I had to reset the clock there. They'd let it run all the way down to 4 minutes. I think the first 8 minutes, kind of what we thought in this game. Both teams really want to establish the run, really want to do it. Both teams also really good against the run.
Yeah, it's been what we thought it was going to be in terms of what they're trying to do. Vigor's had more success than the scouting report led us to believe.
Sutton Snipes, senior quarterback, he was our guest on the pregame show. And Blaylock, now a flag comes in where you would think a holding call would be whistled. And this may... Yep, Charlie Watts guilty of the hold there.
Be honest
Okay,
with
you're going spot of the foul, right?
Holding's a good idea against this Vigor D. All across.
Holding on the offense. 10 yards, spot of the foul. Replay first down.
Rick Johnson, our referee, so a 1st and 20 coming up here for the Bulldogs.
You don't want to be behind the sticks against this team.
And backed up deep in your own end, too.
Yeah.
Double whammy.
Yep.
Bo Willis splits out to the bottom of the screen. 3 receivers to the home side, and Snipes quickly able to get that one out. Gets it off to Wills, his 2nd catch of the year. Quickly brought down. Not much of a gain there. Wills, the sophomore, has a touchdown on the year, but he was quickly gobbled up after that one. And
I think the 2 obvious athletes for UMS getting the ball in their hands would Blaylock, for sure, and Joe Lott from over on the defensive side. When he spends some time on offense, he's probably in there to get the ball.
No gain. Blaylock up the middle. Across the 20, still shy of the original first down.
He sure knows how and when to cut, doesn't he?
Yep. Jai Lang in there on the tackle for the Wolves. His twin brother Jake plays up at defensive tackle.
He's got a lot of movement up front with the offensive line.
Yeah.
Pulling right to left, and Blaylock saw the gap and shot it.
3rd and 10 here for UMS. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Heather Healy on the sideline as 5A Region 1 matchup tonight on Friday Night Rivals. Fake, and then something want to come over the middle, is nearly intercepted. Is looking for that crossing route over the middle, and Farron Brown, the free safety, was there for the Wolves, and he almost had the pick.
He almost did have the pick. Watch the replay again. Left-hander right there, and look at how aware he is and where he is. And, of course, they're throwing for Lott.
Trying to get it to Lott, and now Will Taylor on to punt. Good kick to the near side, and it's out of bounds inside the 45 at about the 42. And now we'll see the Vigor offense come out.
Got a stalemate so far, Jim.
Yeah.
Vigor's they've got some players that can make one big play in a split second, and next thing you know, you're looking at taillights and you're behind. That's one thing that I know Terry Curtis is really concerned about.
Brisker, just a sophomore. We've talked about some sophomores this year, Dan Brennan.
Has it not been uncanny?
Benjamin comes from his usual wide receiver slot to take the handoff, that time up to the 46. Benjamin, another starting sophomore on this team. This Vigor Wolves team, again, won state championship in 4A last year and got bumped up to 5A this year. And a gain of 4 on first down for the Wolves. That big 6-0 win last week over Williamson. Then Williamson beat BC Rain last night. So BC Reign beat Vigor, so it's a big one in the division, in the region here tonight. And pushing ahead goes Benjamin, and he's going to be close to another Vigor first down.
UMS brought somebody off the edge right there to kind of change the numbers in the backfield.
It's a USA Health first down for Benjamin.
Yeah, Benjamin's like, okay, I'm not going that way. And they had enough blocking over right guard for him to, and of course he just plowed ahead.
It's a bit of a change of pace back from Barnes, who's more of the banger back there. Back to the shotgun on first down for the Wolves, and they'll keep it in Benjamin's hands, and he turns the corner, and he's going to get a couple before he's forced out of bounds by Ervin. But he'll pick up 4, and I think Coach Cook just happy to get 4 in a cloud of dust there, because, as you said, they have a chance to take it on a big play each time they touch it out of the backfield there.
They really do, and at wide out, they're pretty good too. So very impressed with Vigor's game plan and with their execution and with their effort tonight.
Garrett Holcomb up to the top of the screen as we approach a half a minute to go here in the opening quarter, right to Benjamin, and he changes direction, and he's going to pick up 5 and bring up 3rd and short before Thomas Hall pulls him down.
That's where the blocking comes in, Jim. You can change direction all you want. If there's nowhere to go, there's nowhere to go. These backs are reading the blocks really well, changing direction and finding the green space.
They'll give him 4, so it'll bring up 3rd and 2 here, and I don't think the Wolves will snap up another one. I think they'll be happy to let this one go to quarter number 2 scoreless here tonight. So we had a delay to start this one with a medical emergency with a Vigor fan over on their side, but now we are through one quarter scoreless on Old Shell Road. UMS and Vigor, top 10 matchup in 5A tonight on Friday Night Rivals. We are through one here at UMS, scoreless between Vigor and UMS.
Hey, we've teamed up with Dr. Pepper and Coca-Cola Bottling Company United to bring you the ultimate high school football experience. Sign up to earn free cool Dr. Pepper stuff and a chance to win tickets to the College Football Playoff National Championship game. Go to drpepper.com and sign up for Pepper Perks today.
So 3rd and 2 coming up here for the Vigor Wolves. They had a turnover in that first quarter. They also stopped UMS right on downs. And it's been a ground attack on both sides here. And Marcus Cook, first-year head coach of the Wolves, will send Brisker out in the shotgun. Brisker on the give to Benjamin, and sophomore ahead on the spot here. Looks like the official on the near side. One is going to be enough for a first down, but now he's going to be just super short. I mean, like maybe a football length short. So like where we've seen Brisker under center, these super short yardage situations. Vigor a big offensive line here. See, and they'll go in the shotgun and play clock down to 1. And Coach Marcus Cook is going to take a timeout there. Good situational awareness that it was. Play clock was going down, but no hesitation to go for it here from the 37.
Jim, if you don't do it much, if you're not under center a whole lot, he's a younger quarterback that's not experienced in any way, maybe you don't do it because of that. I can tell you that Vigor right now has got 63 total yards, all of them on the ground. UMS has got 50 total yards, all of them on the ground as well.
And don't forget, coming up, our Hanson Supertex halftime show. We'll have things like our Scholastic Athletes of the Week. We'll have highlights in the first half. We'll have stats. All that comes up at the half from Hanson Supertex, and 4th and very, very short. We saw a couple plays in that first quarter. 2 tight ends under center for Brisker. Like that time out there. Play clock was at 2. They could have got it off, but I think Coach Cook just saying, hey, this could be a big play in the game, as crazy as that is to say.
Yeah, but it could.
47 seconds into the, so it looks like every yard is going to be precious here this evening. Brisker will go out of the shotgun, and he's got Barnes, 205-pound running back, right next to him. Gives it off to him, and Barnes puts his head down and surges ahead. And I think he's got enough for the first down.
I do too.
Roof Doctors first down. Boy, nice to have a big banging back at 205. Just get a little downhill there when you just need a yard.
Yeah, we've seen some big banging backs. They don't bang real big. This guy does. Look at that momentum he gets. And again, they had enough of a push where the yardage was there to be had.
Greenleaf, one of the first Bulldogs in there to stop him after he got the Roof Doctors first down.
Vigor doing a real job of keeping the ball away from UMS-Wright.
Indeed. And this is a team that's really now a pre-snap penalty. We have not had many penalties in this game. Had one on the interception return and then a holding call. Might be the first one against Vigor. But
We got encroachment lined up in the neutral zone on the offense. 5 yards. Replay first down.
ooh, those are the pre-snap penalties that drive coaches wild. So 1st and 15 now for the Wolves.
19. Big time receiver. Keep an eye on him.
Yep, Jerry and Graham is big target, 262, 180, and he'll be at the bottom of the screen for Brisker.
Single safety.
Little play action. Brisker rolls out to the right, steps up, throws it down into coverage, hung up in the air, and goes off the hands of Hayden Nagy. UMS with good coverage down there, but Dan called out Graham there. Graham was split out wide and had the corner there in coverage, and Joe Lott, the safety, back there as well, and it went off of Nagy's hands and bring up 2nd and 15. Even if you don't complete those passes, you take those shots downfield, helps on that running game.
Oh yeah, it keeps the safeties from creeping up and just thinking run all the time. Yeah, it's not a bad idea to throw it out there, give him a shot,
especially this part of the field.
Yep.
Brisker looking to throw again. Pressure coming up. Brisker able to elude that one and roll to the right side, and he'll be forced out of bounds at about the 40, and that'll be right at about the line of scrimmage. Looking to bring up 3rd and very long is John Charles Ervin on the chase. Came up, but Brisker able to get away from him. Brisker is keeping his eyes downfield the whole time, but finally just ran out of real estate, and Nagy over there to help push him out of bounds, and got maybe a yard on that one from the 39. 3rd and 13. 5 wide receivers for the Wolves. Brisker, some pressure rolling out, pressure from the backside, hangs that one high in the air and knocked down. Joe Lott was over there again. That one had a lot of airtime underneath it. Yeah, then Vigor's going to have to punt this one here on 4th and 14 from 39.
You say, oh, that's a good idea. Okay. Well, you got to make sure you don't get it blocked. And that sounds like a bold statement here, but UMS-Wright historically so good at doing just that.
Yeah, I like that. Like that try too there because Brisker hang that one up down around the 10. It's intercepted. It's just like a punt.
Well,
so
if you've got somebody to get him on the ground.
Poe, much better punt this time. A line drive. Blaylock takes it at the 15. Good special teams coverage there by the Wolves to stop Blaylock after 1 on the return. Back down on the near sideline, we go to Heather Healy.
Well, you see a lot of yellow on the home side tonight, and it's bringing awareness to Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, making Yellow Day, remembering a remarkable little girl who passed away from a rare form of childhood cancer. We're going to speak to her mother later on in the game tonight, guys.
Roberts, right to just...
Yeah, Chrisanna Roberts, Laura Roberts, the mom. I knew them
got
both well.
goosebumps right now.
I was. She's my sweet little friend.
Snipes at quarterback, and we're going to whistle before this one gets snapped. Yeah, you see all the parents are in yellow. Terry Curtis had a yellow UMS hat on and warm-ups, and student body all in yellow tonight. This one now going to back the Bulldogs up 5 yards, and they're back all the way to the 10-yard line here. And there you see the UMS student body we talked about.
Yeah, they've maintained this for 12, 13, 14
2009,
years.
right?
Wow,
I think.
yeah. So it doesn't look like this celebration of her life is going anywhere.
Yep. What a great way to honor that young woman. Blaylock with a nice hole on the near side, and now Blaylock all the way up to the 25-yard line, and he'll pick up 10 on first down.
What a good trap block right there over the left side. Blaylock, by the way, they're really not containing him. He had over 50 yards he had at 50 in the first half.
Yeah, actually give him 15.
First quarter, I should say.
Yeah, give him 15. They needed 15, so the Roof Doctor's first down, and that's exactly what he picked up. Blaylock, as we said, got offered by South Alabama, and he committed, said, I want to go play for my hometown school. Here he is again on the right side, and he's going to pick up 7.
He's never in a hurry. He's patient. He breaks tackles.
Purifoy drug him down. Got to meet him last year. And just again, 6 foot, 185 pounds. And you know, in warm-ups, he's definitely bigger this year than he was as a junior running the football.
Yeah. Good teammate, we understand, too, right?
Oh, yeah. Had one of the parents whose son is a freshman on the team has been playing sports since he's, as kids do. And he said he's the best teammate I've ever met. He's a freshman, and Cole's the senior star on the team.
Wow.
Under center. And prior to the snap, like the Bulldogs may have drawn Vigor offside here, and they may be able to get the first down on the flag.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense. Results of plays, first down.
So you saw Sutton Snipes go under center there. You got to think it was a cadence thing, too. You got him on second and about a yard.
Yep.
Use a hard cadence there, see if you can get the first down. And it's exactly what the Bulldogs did here 4 minutes into the second. Jim Cox and Dan Brennan at UMS, our great Friday Night Rivals crew. Heather Healy on the sideline. It's an early, our director here tonight. Blaylock a little stutter step and got wrapped up. Reginald Poe able to grab him as Blaylock gets it up to about the 43-yard line.
So one thing I noticed, and I'm sure that Terry and the folks upstairs did too, both those safeties were kind of screaming downhill, anticipating Blaylock with the run.
Ty Yance split up to the top of the screen. High snap. Quick pitch to Blaylock, and all kinds of trouble as that one was doomed from the start. The Wolves read that one, and then when the snap was high, the timing was off, and the penetration was there. Brandon Purifoy, the first one in for Vigor.
It's almost a forward pitch, Jim.
Yeah. It was such a high snap.
Yeah, and we've seen that over and over again, so that's something they've got to straighten out because plays are getting off to just a tick off because of the snaps being high.
This Vigor defensive line, big and strong, going up against this UMS line that we said has more size to it on the offensive side than we've seen in a lot of years here at UMS. I had to get the clock reset. Now 3rd and 10 here for the Bulldogs. Snipes, lefty with pressure. Dropped short of the line of scrimmage, trying to get back there, but the 37 tried to wrestle himself free, but could not get away from the Wolves and the Vigor defense. Going to force the Bulldogs to punt here.
You might notice too, Jim, this Vigor defense, they don't fear UMS-Wright's speed. Their corners are chest to chest with them at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Davis was the first one in there. Now pressure and a high punt. Malone calls for the fair catch. Dropped it, recovered by the Bulldogs. So we talked about special teams and played a big part in the win for Vigor last week. And this time, big kick. Kevin Malone, the sophomore, goes back. Fair catch. Goes right off his hands. And down there in coverage, Bo Wills recovers for UMS-Wright, and suddenly they've got it at the 23.
Yeah, he's backing up, so that's a little trouble. He does raise the arm for the fair catch right before he tries to catch the ball. I don't know what any of that had to do with the drop or the muff. UMS back on offense.
It was a high punt. Inside Blaylock, now to the 18-yard line. That ball came out at the end, but they'll say he was down. I think Coach Cook was talking about he's really proud of what his special teams have done so far this year. In that win last week against Williamson, they forced the Williamson punter to drop a snap in the end zone under pressure. He got out to the 2, and then they took over and punched it in. Then they blocked a field goal later in the game. And now UMS in the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. Blaylock barely stays in the maroon zone there with the penetration of the Wolves. This defensive line's impressive for this Vigor team.
They're no joke, and they know it.
They've given up, as we said, just 6.8 points a game. Shut out Blunt, shut out Williamson, gave up 7 against Citronelle and 20 against BC Rain, which is a really odd, their odd game of the season that nobody saw coming.
Right, and I think that had to do with turning the ball over.
Yep. Now 3rd and 7. Joe Lott checks in. He's in the slot. Snipes wants to come to the near side. That one incomplete. Now it's slow on blowing the whistle as it went off the hands of Matthew Hedge. But if Hedge catches that, he's got nowhere to go because he's got 2 white jerseys all around him.
Yeah, you talk about throwing into traffic. I mean, there are a lot of people there.
So now it 4th and 6 here. UMS going to go for it from the 20. It'd be about a 37-yard field goal. Instead, they'll keep Sutton Snipes in, the senior quarterback. Hedge, the receiver, to the bottom of the screen. Snipes now wants to pull it down and take off. Looking to run. Bounces inside the 15, and he's going to have the first down.
Wow. Snipes shows some pretty good wheels there. I think he's a center fielder on the baseball team.
Roof Doctor's first down, and Vigor, he was just rushing 3 and we're back in coverage, and Snipes with good decisive decision making there.
He had to be decisive with the pursuit of this Vigor team. So Snipes makes a big play. Downfield wasn't there. He takes off, gets the necessary yards, and the Bulldogs still in business.
He got to the 13. Blaylock on the right side. He's got a hole and brought down at about the 6 with a big hit because it looked like he was close to taking that one in before Jermaine Holcomb able to make the stop. Watch Blaylock here. Looks like he's got a chance, and Holcomb comes over and gets him. Got a little help down low. Towner was there giving chase.
I mean, Blaylock's been it for UMS-Wright tonight. He has been the offense.
Still in the Dr. Pepper red zone. Blaylock gets it again, and tough yards.
Does he wiggle for the first down, Jim?
Come by here. I don't think he got quite there. Yeah, got to about just outside the 5, so 3rd and about 3 here. Purifoy again in on the tackle for the Wolves, and now they'll bring in Joe Lott. And he's a athlete they really like to go to. You'll see him probably some at quarterback here tonight, but now they'll put him in the slot, and they'd love to get it to him one-on-one. I think he'll come in motion. They'll give it to him. Try to turn the corner, and he's going to be forced out of bounds for little to no gain. Again, good work there by the Alcorn State commit, Jermaine Holcomb.
I was going to say, that's the guy going to the SWAC, Alcorn State, and he is. And on that play, you will see You'll see this kid get to the corner probably 8 out of 10 times, but not tonight, not against Vigor. Really good defense.
Yeah.
Really good defense.
No gain, and Terry Curtis did not send the field goal unit out right away from the far hash. I think he's going to take maybe a timeout here. I think he's going to just let this one run all the way down as we're approaching 2 minutes to go, and he does let the play clock go all the way down, and he'll talk things over.
Remember, you almost got this on the muff punt.
The 23.
They haven't driven it much tonight.
Yeah,
Blaylock for his for his work has been pretty solid. Nothing big, but already 85 yards rushing heading to the half.
Doesn't look like Coach Curtis is going to change his mind and send out the field goal unit here. Looks like he's going to go for it again. They converted once on this drive on a 4th and 6 when Snipes pulled it down.
Yep. Boy, you don't expect to really get anything off Vigor by just ad-libbing. This defense is too good for any of that, but that was a big play by Snipes for sure.
And you see the lateral speed of this Vigor defense as well. As now it looks like UMS will decide to try the field goal this time. As John Ramsey will come in and try this one, a 22-yard attempt from the far hash. And no good. Pulled it a bit. And Vigor's defense holds. So kicking special teams, we've seen the fumble by Vigor.
Missed chip shot.
Yeah, actually pushed that one from the far angle. And Vigor gets it back at the 20. And Ramsey knew the second he kicked that one.
Wide left.
And so Vigor's defense able to get the ball back, and Barnes will plunge ahead for 2 on first down.
They get a first down, they're going to go into the half at a stalemate for sure. Good half for Vigor.
We talked in the pregame show with Coach Cook, and we said, "Boy, you'd be okay if this is a low-scoring game here tonight if your defense get me." He's like, "Oh,
that was the biggest smile we saw."
Really impressed by that young man in his first year as the head coach of the Vigor Wolves. It's a great job, not an easy job. That's a lot.
That's a great way to put it.
Now up the near side, and Barnes to the 35, and he's going to have the first down. Picks up 14, but is there a flag?
This guy treats defensive backs like bowling pins, doesn't he?
UMS wanted, I think UMS wanted a little block in the back there, but didn't really impact the play. And Vigor with a first down up at the 35. Brisker right back off to Barnes, and Barnes to the 40, gets almost 5. I think I was talking with one of the assistant coaches, Brandon Dean, on the defensive side of the ball for UMS, and he said, "Boy, you don't want to see number 5 get going. Just don't want to see Barnes get going." And you can see why. He is a load too. And he doesn't get easier to tackle as the night goes on. Somebody that size.
Can't imagine he would. Neither will Blaylock in the second half. Kudos to the Vigor offensive line. They're getting a push. They're creating running lanes.
Carlos Benjamin, the sophomore, comes back in, and late flag comes in here. A couple of them, as a matter of fact. Probably going to be a hold against Vigor, and so let's be curious here. Be a hold on. Going to keep second down.
Replay in second.
Start to wonder if Terry Curtis will use a timeout to get a stop, because they sure love to try to force a punt and not just let Vigor run out the clock here with 29 seconds left.
I'll be honest with you, Jim. I don't see any matchups where UMS-Wright can win offensively on the outside.
Benjamin up the middle. The sophomore gets to about the 35 before Thomas Hall wraps him up there. And I think unless Vigor takes a timeout, I think everybody will be happy to go in the half scoreless. And that's what we will do here. Top 10 matchup in 5A in the state of Alabama.
Does it look like it?
Looks 100% like it. Vigor and UMS-Wright scoreless. Terry Curtis on the near sideline with Heather Healy.
All right, Coach, let's talk about this defense that is giving you all sorts of trouble with your offense. Talk about the struggles that you guys are having.
Well, they're just so big, plus we're helping them. We've had a holding call, a motion penalty, and we missed a few blocks. So, we knew we need to work field position, and we wasn't able to do that in the first half. We just got to get better with field position, and we got the extra point field goal and miss it. So, just not a very good first half.
Message to your team during halftime.
Well, we got to pick it up. We got to have guys make some plays, and they hadn't done that yet.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, we talked about being not easy being a quarterback, being a kicker also not easy for Coach Curtis. Maybe being a kicker also not easy. Talked about
not now.
Field goal that was missed there.
That's an untimely halftime for the poor kicker.
Each week, Herc Reynolds player of the game, and last week it was the young quarterback KJ Lacey from Saraland, able to lead his team to the victory through that early interception, able to bounce back, led his team to the victory, and another big impressive win for Saraland last week.
Yeah, here's the thing about Lacey. He's a weapon, and he's got weapons. So it's a lot of trouble to try to keep this team in red out of the end zone.
Spanish Fort fell in that game. They've got their big matchup tonight against Theodore. They're leading 14-7 over Theodore at the half, who's unbeaten on the year. But last week it was KJ Lacey, the player of the game for the unbeaten Saraland Spartans, brought to you by Herc Reynolds Pro Solutions. And at the end of tonight's game, we'll give you 3 players to choose from, and you'll be able to go to utv44.com to vote. And then next week we'll tell you who was this week's player of the game. Defensive battle here tonight at Ervin S. Cooper Stadium. UMS and Vigor scoreless in a 5A Region 1 battle.
This is the Hanson Super Tex Halftime Show.
Halftime show here on Friday Night Rivals, but we've had great games every week so far of the season. Dan Brennan.
Agree.
Tonight, no different. Scoreless. Vigor and UMS-Wright at the half, and this Vigor team, as we said, ranked number 8 in 5A coming out. They got that big win last week, but they opened the season with that 7-0 win over Blunt, and that is such an important win for this Vigor program to beat Blunt, a school bigger than you in a classification above you, but as big a rival as you have on the schedule.
Yeah, as big a rival, that means nothing as far as the standings in the region, but you feel a whole lot better about the rest of your year if you win that game.
And then the one that had everybody scratching their head, including Vigor, the coaching staff and players, 20-7. They lost at Ladd. They were up 7-6 in the fourth quarter in that game. Lost. As big a win as BC Reigns had, and boy, it comes to my memory. It's been a long time. But then young coach in his third week really said, hey, we're a bit humbled. It's been humbled. And then we had to learn, and we had to move on, and we had to not take anybody for granted. And they've rolled the past couple of weeks with a big win over Williamson last week.
And that's very similar to the Blunt game.
Yep.
Williamson, a very physical team, a lot like this Vigor team, and really good on defense.
And now both in the same region, so that game mattered even more.
Right.
So there's our region 5A statewide poll. UMS-Wright, they've been number 1 since the beginning of the season. Leads Ramsey, Gunnersville, Moody, Pleasant Grove, Gulf Shores, who UMS-Wright beat here last week, 35-28. Vigor, Eufaula, and Arab. Boy, we had fun doing a game in Eufaula a long time ago, remember?
Yes, we did. It was Vigor. It was UMS in the playoff game, yeah.
That was a fun game for sure. But UMS-Wright, the top team, but they are in a battle with number 8 here tonight. The Vigor Wolves able to come in here tonight and show off that great defense. Scoreless here on our halftime brought to you by Hanson Super Tex.
Here's a message from our sponsor, Dr. Pepper.
Hey everybody, Heather Healy here for Friday Night Rivals, and standing next to me is the one, the only Mr. Keith Watson. He is the Sales Center Manager for Coca-Cola United Gulf Coast. All right, Keith, for this season, what is one thing that you want these athletes to take away?
Well, just embrace the experience. It goes by so quick. You know, you hear all those cliches, especially when you get to my age. I'm looking back at my glory days. It just goes by in an instant, and just the friendships that you have during this time, it lasts a lifetime. Just embrace it, enjoy it, slow down, and take it all in.
Lifetime for sure. Do you have any favorite memories back in the day that you?
Yeah, but none athletically that I'd want to highlight. I was better in my own mind than I was on the field. So, but just the friendships, and again the relationships you form back in those high school days is a lasting experience.
And you see the community embracing that
Absolutely.
as well. Keith, we greatly appreciate you joining us here for a few minutes and being a huge part of this year's Friday Night Rivals.
Welcome back to the Hanson SuperTex Halftime Show.
Oh, maybe not. Hanson SuperTech Halftime Show. We are scoreless here tonight in this 5A Region 1 battle, but we got some other games going on. And
what you got there, Jim?
Well, there might be some orange around the loop tonight. Does that give you a little indication?
Oh, wow.
McGill on top of Murphy by a score of 21-0 in the third there. And that battle to paint the cannon. Big one in 7A at the half. Daphne homecoming tonight taking on Baker. Baker was up 14-6, but now Daphne with a 15-14 lead at the half. They rolling over Citronelle 29-0. Big 6A Region 1 battle. Spanish Fort and Theodore. Theodore unbeaten on the year, but you're kind of wondering, hey, who have they played compared to what Spanish Fort has faced so far? 14-7 Spanish Fort on top of Theodore.
Wow.
That one in the third quarter right now.
Of course, Theodore we always consider a 7A team. They've come down this year, and you know that they're going to be one of the best teams in 6A.
I had a coach tell me today, he said, that Theodore team, they will knock your something in the dirt. They are that much a Theodore, typical Theodore.
The old
thing.
knock it in the dirt. Okay.
Gulf Shores on top of LaFleur, 35-6 at the half. Mary G and Bryant tied at 7.
Fill in that blank.
At the half, St. Michael over Satsuma. You can knock an elbow, anything in the dirt. St. Michael.
I mean, you could.
Leads Satsuma 29-0 at the half. Speaking of 29-0 in the first quarter, Saraland over Robertsdale 29-0. Fairhope 15-7 over Davidson in a 7A matchup. Jackson leads Bayside 15-3 at the half, and Mobile Christian leads Monroe County by a score of 6-0. Scoreless Chickasaw and Francis Marion, and Williamson leads beat BC Rain last night by a score of 20-0. So our Hanson SuperTex halftime show here as take a look at the UMS-Wright schedule here. So UMS with the win over St. Paul's to open up. Weird having those two rivals playing week one. It's usually that last week of the season if they're not in region. And Theodore, then they beat T.R. Miller, LaFleur, and then the big one over Gulf Shores, also ranked in the top 10 in 5A. And they're off next week. Then they go on the road for 3 in a row. Alberta, BC Rain, Citronelle. Then they got Faith Academy and Williamson to close out the season back here at the Coop. As we look at the standings, UMS-Wright playing their third region game here tonight. You can see why this is so important. UMS-Wright beat Gulf Shores. Vigor 2-1 in the region. Well, they lost to BC Rain, but then they beat Williamson. But then last night Williamson beat BC Rain, and I'm pointing at the screen in the booth like I'm Steve Karnacki, on election night here doing that. Nobody can see me doing that. But so UMS-Wright would be able to take a commanding lead in this region with a victory here tonight.
I appreciate the visual aid for me.
Yes.
That helped me understand what's going on here.
Yeah, well, Williamson with that big win last night. Again, top 4 teams go in the playoffs, but UMS-Wright with 3 games, you would think winnable games after this, and then they got the last 2 of the regular season. Williamson and Faith Academy Faith Academy then Williamson back to back to close out the season. And Vigor has already had they've had a tough go of it in their schedule so far. The quality opponents they've played already so far.
How about Gulf Shores? How that program has emerged with the college-like coaching staff, with facilities, and some players deciding they like to live at the beach. That helps.
Came up here and lost to UMS-Wright last week. UMS-Wright stayed perfect on the year. Well, it's a perfect defensive battle here tonight between Vigor and UMS-Wright. Scoreless. UMS-Wright will get the ball to start the second half. We're about 5 minutes away here on our Hanson Super Tex halftime. Halftime here at UMS 5A Region 1 matchup. Jim Cox and Dan Brennan. Heather Healy down the sidelines with our Hanson Super Tex halftime show. And boy, you think about that first half, Dan Brennan, we saw lots of this, lots of highlights on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, Vigor ran it well, decided to try to hit it on a big play. Lott, the safety's over there, like Ronnie Lott,
yeah.
But it's Joe Lott. I think he's a good player.
Just a junior. Cole Blaylock has churned some yards in the first half, but a lot of them been between the 20s. Both teams, UMS got down in the maroon zone once, couldn't capitalize, missed a short field goal. That was a fourth down stop there by the Vigor Wolves, and then that was good for a first down. They didn't need much. This is a big play here on special teams as it was dropped and UMS able to recover it, but then the Bulldogs could not capitalize. They did convert a 4th and 6 here, but then they missed what Terry Curtis described as a point after field goal attempt, which did not make him happy at all. And the stats kind of look like exactly what we just saw there in those highlights.
The highlights are mostly defensive and or missed.
Got no passing yards by either team.
Yeah, it's quite a curious game. Blaylock individually having a good half. 14 rushes for 85 yards. And on the Vigor side of things, it's Barnes. He's got 9 rushes and 56 or 59 yards. So
Benjamin has come in, but a nice little change of pace back for him, but scoreless. And we'll come back and get ready to kick things off. Second half comes up after this. Friday Night Rivals, Dr. Pepper and Sonic bringing it to you. Just about to get this one underway in the third quarter. Scoreless in that first half. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan up in the box here at UMS. Heather Healy down on the sidelines.
Hey guys, I talked with Vigor just a second ago, and Coach said he is so happy with his defense. They're doing exactly what he wants them to do. But on the offensive side, they're not doing too shabby. They just need to get some points into that scoreboard. They need to get some points into the second half. That's the only way they're going to defeat this UMS team right here at their turf. So what they're going to do is make sure that this offense knows exactly what they're told to do, what they're exactly supposed to do. And what they're going to do is do some points. That's exactly what he said, guys.
Joe Lott will take this one at the 10, and Lott out across the 25. And yeah, they talked about, this Vigor offense have trouble scoring throughout the first month of the season, and that's been the case here tonight. But their defense is going to keep them in a game every week this year until that offense gets a little chance to grow a bit.
Yeah, the running offense has been pretty good.
Yep.
They've controlled it. They've got enough blocking up front. Let's see what UMS-Wright does different. And the one athlete that's got a chance to do something on the outside, I think, would be Joe Lott.
Go right back off to Blaylock, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, but not much more there. We talked about this, the Vigor ability to break a big play. We've seen that so many years. Blaylock's also one of those body blow, and then all of a sudden he gets around the corner, and if he's got an angle, he might be able to break one off for a big run.
Yeah, or right up the gut, and break it out. If a safety's out of position, he can go.
Now Jake Jay comes in, and he'll get his first carry tonight. And Jay, the junior, is going to have a first down. And Moore took a big hit, held onto the football up at the 45-yard line.
That right there tells you how good the blocking has been on certain plays, because I thought that was Blaylock, and it was not at all.
Watch Jaleel Johnson here at the end of this play. That was a big hit right on the football as well, and Jay did a good job to hold on to it. Johnson, the helmet right on the 2, but up to the 45.
How physical is this game, Jim?
Just I want to say exactly what we thought it was going to be. I put Blaylock back up in the slot, go right back to Jay, and this time, no sir, says Michael Towner. Towner going to UAB. You know, we've not seen him on offense yet tonight for the Vigor Wolves. And, you know, Coach Cook wants to try to keep him fresh. He's kind of like Joe Lott on the other side. You could play him everywhere.
Yeah, and right now they are running it well.
Yep.
With their standard backfield, so Towner can concentrate on doing that right there. He's unblocked right there.
Another tackle for a loss for the 6'2", 245-pound senior who really kind of fell in love with the coaches at UAB when they started his recruiting back in December and committed up there. Snipes rolls out. Penalty flag. Joe Lott catches it. Will be good for the first down at the 44, but that looks like maybe Drew Lane going to get called for a hold here, and indeed that's the case. So Snipes, a left-handed quarterback, able to roll.
Holding on the offense. 10 yards, spotted foul. Replay second down.
So it wipes out
59.
An 11-yard gain. And now puts you in 2nd and 20. Take a look here, and it looks like maybe Charlie Watts there. Maybe not sure, but it's a holding call and backs UMS up out of the 32. Takes a look there. Yeah, it looks like maybe it was Watts guilty of the haul. They called it on 59, but maybe 50. And Blaylock gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Again, Vigor stout defensive line now brings up 3rd and long.
What do you see, Jim, that UMS-Wright can do offensively to loosen things up?
Yeah, I mean, you want to get it to Lott on the outside, but you know the secondary, this Vigor team.
I agree.
Good. And he's not had a lot of time. They've had to roll him out. They had to roll him out on the last one because of the pressure that's been coming from the Vigor defensive line. 3rd and 19. Now Snipes will roll out to his right. The lefty cranks up, fires. That's behind his intended receiver. And getting a hand on that one to knock it away was the linebacker Purefoy. And you got linebackers doing a good job in coverage there.
No gaps back there. No. Tries to fit it in with that left arm, and yeah, it was knocked down at the line there. Actually,
yeah, it was
pressure on the
Brown,
quarterback.
Yeah, Brown is a safety who can come up and play as a linebacker. That's his 2nd pass breakup here tonight. Will Taylor with a low snap. Good kick, and now Vigor can't decide who wants to receive that one. And Jaleel Johnson was back there along with Garrett Holcomb, and they both let it bounce. And Vigor defense with another stop. They'll take it over at the 24 early on in the 3rd on Friday Night Rivals. Still scoreless here on Friday Night Rivals. You know, if I want a little snack post-game, Dan Brennan, you have an idea?
Oh, man, it's a super meal. What do you get when you combine 2 craveable classics made with 3 slices of melty American cheese layered between 2 100% pure seasoned beef patties? They're held together by a thick Texas toast. It's the Sonic Grilled Cheese Double Burger. Try one half price when you order on the Sonic app. That is for a limited time only, and only at Sonic.
On the app in the iTunes store. I'm going there next commercial break to make sure I have the latest version. All right, Vigor after the defensive stop to open up the second half. Keep it on the ground. Don't you start to feel like one score might be enough to win this game? Kerry Coleman carry there for the Vigor Wolves. McNeil Mosteller, junior linebacker for UMS, able to make the stop after 3.
We had a defensive battle last week, right? Or 2 weeks ago, was it?
2 weeks ago.
So, and that was in Saraland. But this doesn't really feel like it's going to suddenly change course.
Brisker looking to pass over the middle, and it's off the hands of his intended receiver. Joe Lott was there. Coverage as well as they tried to get to Dixon. Dixon's a big target.
Lott's a big guy, too.
Yeah, watch Dixon, 88 here. Damien Dixon, and that one was a little high. And Lott wanted to come over the top.
I'll tell you what, that kid is an athlete. He's breaks on the ball well. He's got really good ball skills.
Yeah, just a junior, 6'3", can play anywhere on the field. Quarterback, wide receiver, running back. His third and 7. Brisker now wants to roll out. Still keeps his eyes downfield. Floats it and sliding at the 50. And he's got it off to Benjamin, the sophomore. How about the sophomore quarterback? I love how he's been keeping his eyes downfield when he's feeling the pressure.
Yeah, late blitz right there. Chases him out of the pocket.
Ooh. Benjamin gets it right up at midfield for the first down. Dump back out, this time to the near side. They come to Perry, and Perry inside the 45.
Oh, jumped up with a little tempo there, right?
Right after that long completion, and now here come the Wolves on the move.
I don't think we saw tempo since the first drive of the game.
Yep, you're right. UMS got the ball to start the second half. Vigor's defense forced a punt. Now 4 receivers with Coleman in the backfield. It's time the senior will get it. He's got a hole up the right side, and Coleman to the 30. He's going to pick up enough for the first down.
These guys just seek contact rather than avoiding it.
USA Health Systems first down with a gain of 12. Got going downhill there. Hayden Nagy able to make the stop. And as Dan said, now we see more tempo. Coleman this time on the left side. He'll push ahead to about the 26. This is the most sustained drive we've seen from Vigor so far tonight.
Yeah, gaining more yards than any other drive.
And now they'll bring in Ja'Cory Barnes. More of a bigger back at 205. Graham to the bottom of the screen. Brisker to Barnes. Barnes up the middle, not a lot there. Fall forward to about the 24.
How about this impressive coaching job by Marcus Cook, 27-year-old head coach, against one of the winningest coaches in the state of Alabama.
And a great staff.
Yeah.
Very deep coaching staff. Steve Campbell on the staff. Third down. Brisker looks quick, fires it off. Able to get it off cleat. He's got the first down as he's able to get that one off to Holcomb. Second catch tonight.
We asked Marcus, can he throw it? He said, oh, he can throw it. And told us a story about seeing him in gym class.
USA Health Systems first down to the freshman Holcomb.
The ball gets there in a hurry, man.
They had the one pass intercepted in the first, but now they are in the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. First time that the Wolves have been there tonight, and they keep the tempo going. Brisker off to Barnes. Barnes down to about the 12.
I won't say they're gashing UMS-Wright, but they're steadily going downhill.
This is where you have to, if you're an offense that's been struggling like this, you've got this drive. You've got to finish it. Can't just move it, quote unquote, in between the 20s, right? You've got to get points on the board here.
Yep. This is usually a team that struggles with kicking.
2nd and 4. Barnes on the left side, and he's in for the Wolves. Touchdown.
Impressive. Vigor Wolves.
13-yard score, and the Wolves fans letting the pack hear about it as the junior Barnes has his 3rd touchdown of the season and first one of the night. And how about that offensive line with a hole on the left side?
Oh, you'll be able to see it right here. Big hole, gashing hole. But bodies on the ground for UMS-Wright.
Now a big point after here from Woodrow Patton. And he's got it. And Vigor with an impressive drive after their defense comes up with a stop to start third quarter action. And the Wolves behind Brisker and Barnes. They're on the board. So Marcus Cook telling Heather after halftime about some adjustments they wanted to make, and they kept pounding on the ground there, but also got some yards through the air, and they go 9 plays, 76 yards, 4 minutes, and they finish the drive.
Yeah.
Ja'Cory Barnes with a 13-yard touchdown run, and the Vigor Wolves find themselves on top by a score of 7-0. As you look at the first-year head coach Marcus Cook, Vigor graduate.
Yeah, he looks like he's concerned about something. That's what his face tells you. He's leading 7-0. Very confident. This kind of I don't know. How did you read him? It's not over his head.
But also a calming presence, I think, for the young men on the Vigor Wolves team.
Yep.
Cole Blaylock takes it at the 17.
Look out.
Blaylock up the near side. Blaylock makes a move, and he's all the way up to the 43-yard line into Vigor territory, and UMS is going to try to answer back.
That's the guy he can do the answering for you. Good. Really good special teams blocking by UMS-Wright, too. Nobody reads a block better than Cole Blaylock.
Yeah, Reginald Poe able to make the tackle. You know, certainly if you're an offense that's had trouble putting points on the board, as the Wolves have in the first month, you'll take points any way you can get them. But I think a sustained drive like that, I think, makes Coach Cook feel much better than just busting one off. You know, I think they really got to be happy with that long drive there, as Blaylock up to the 35 will get 6 on first down.
Keep an eye on these safeties, Jim. If Cole Blaylock is going to break one, it's probably going to be right in the face or getting through or around a safety. They've done They've done a good job getting him the initial hole, and then it's Blaylock's job to do something that he does very well, and that's breaking tackles. You got a lot in the game.
Now he's in at quarterback for the first time tonight. He was 3 for 4 for 2 touchdowns last week. Lott going to keep it himself on the right side. Handful of jersey, pulls through it, stays on his feet, pushes ahead, and he's going to be just short of the first down. But we talked about the speed, but there you see the strength as he was able to get away from that tackle with a big handful of jersey from the penetration of the
Lott's an intriguing athlete.
Wolves.
Played defensive back, even cornerback as a freshman, as I recall.
Yep.
He's now 6'3", and a lot of schools really interested in the athletic talents of Joe Lott.
He'll stay in at quarterback. He can throw it. Bo Wills and McMahon to the bottom of the screen. Steady gives it off to Blaylock, and Blaylock's going to have the first down to the 29. USA Health Systems first down for UMS-Wright.
18 rushes, 94 yards for Blaylock on the night. Barnes, by the way, is 12 for 78 on the Vigor side.
Matthew Hedge back in, sending the play in from Terry Curtis as they stay with Lott at quarterback, and Blaylock with him. Blaylock on the right side. Now he turns the corner, and Cole Blaylock has got a UMS first down inside the 15. They're in the Dr. Pepper maroon zone.
With that offensive line all pulling to the right, clearing things out.
Wills with a block there, and
yep.
Blaylock, what a great young man. Got a chance to meet him last year. And at the 14, can UMS answer back the impressive Vigor drive here in the third? And they'll stay with Lott at quarterback. Lott Gives it off. Blaylock. Going to be close to another first down to around the 6. There's not been anything easy by either team.
No.
You've had to earn those rushing yards on both sides.
You do, but Blaylock knows how to earn them. Again, I talked about going through his safety. I guess he went through a linebacker right there, but if he's going to score, there's a good chance there's contact along the way, and he wins. Boy, think about how many people are watching this game tonight across both counties.
Now, Snipes back in under center. They go with a jumbo package. Give it off to Blaylock on the left side, and he's going to be just a little short of the first down. Going to bring up third down. There's not much there. That Vigor defense got a good push from the defensive line. 3rd and 3 coming up with a minute to go, and now they bring Lott back in, and they're going to split him up to the top of the screen. They'd love to get him the ball here, but they'll stay with the big formation in behind Snipes. Blaylock, great penetration by the Wolves. Again, Brandon Purifoy comes in, and it's going to bring up 4th down on the loss.
There's a guy, Purifoy, not the biggest guy, plays like it's for, Super Bowl every time. Paid off having a guy like that on that play right there. They just won the line of scrimmage.
See, UMS probably not going to take another play here, but watch the push here.
Boy, just penetration on the outside, push on the inside.
Towner was in there.
Yeah.
And we will head to the 4th quarter with a 4th and 5 coming up from the 10 of the Vigor Wolves. UMS gonna go for it to start the 4th, but Ja'Cory Barnes has the Wolves on top of the number 1 ranked UMS-Wright Bulldogs as we head to quarter number 4. Dr. Pepper's Friday Night Rivals presented by Sonics. UMS-Wright and Vigor, battle of top 10 teams. Vigor coaches looking up for the defensive side. UMS offensive coaches there. Jay Pope standing there next to Coach Terry Curtis. But here we go, 4th and 5. Lott to the bottom of the screen. Blaylock in the backfield. Play action. Looking for Lott. Now wants to go to Blaylock, and he's wide open for the Bulldog touchdown. Snipes with a 4th down, money ball.
Yeah, money ball. Everything moving to the right.
All the focus on Lott.
Yep. Attracted the attention with Lott to the right. Sneak Blaylock out on kind of a shorter wheel route. And Snipes makes a big throw.
That's left-handed quarterback has to really make sure he gets his body set to throw that one off there as Blaylock just got a little lost.
Yeah, he got lost because he didn't really run a traditional pattern. He was in there looking. The game is tied, of course.
Yep.
He looked like he was protecting the quarterback and then just snuck out.
Well-designed play by the Bulldogs. Ramsey, let's watch it again here. Set his feet, fired it back, and Blaylock sure-handed it. Both teams with their best drives of the night.
Yeah, nobody followed him out there. Nobody followed him out on the pattern.
And Snipes a good job to hang in there with Towner barreling down on you. And 7-7. Now here, that was 4th and 5, and UMS converts UMS. What are you saying, man? I can't hear you. So UMS had missed that field goal earlier in the first half. And Terry Curtis did not want to try a field goal to cut the lead to 7-3. Wanted to get this one knotted up, and here we are.
Keep in mind the good field position UMS-Wright got with the not a long kickoff for Vigor. And a pretty good return by Blaylock.
Kingston fan kickoff for the Bulldogs and angles it toward the near sideline. It's dropped. Good job able to finally get a hold of that one was Malone, but Joe Lott down there on the tackle. And Now Vigor will see if they can answer back with their most impressive drive that ate up over 4 minutes last time they had it.
I've got to get over my man crush on number 1. He does everything.
Good.
Even played the role of look at me, and Blaylock's open in the corner of the other corner of the end zone where he was a decoy.
Prettiest decoy on the on the field on that play, right?
Yeah, great athlete.
All right, so now Vigor Wolves and Calvin Brisker. Back to Benjamin. Well, they've done a nice rotation with those 3 backs. They're all different. Barnes, Coleman, and Benjamin.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Barnes is the guy that really drags a pile with him.
That's good.
They're all good.
Gotcha. Second and 3 after the 7-yard pickup there by Benjamin. Give it back to him, a good pressure that time by UMS to stop him. Jeff Holston, the sophomore, in there. That brings up a big third down here for the Wolves. They need a first down here, kind of keep a little momentum because you can kind of feel the crowd.
Yeah,
the momentum here.
It's been penetration, Jim. When they've stopped one or the other from rushing, the runner never got started. He was bottled up in the backfield. So almost a run blitz, if you want to call it that.
See Brisker getting his teammates a line. Wants to throw quick out on the far side. Able to get it up, but nowhere to go.
Well, I thought they were going to have it. And the blocking on the outside kind of failed him right there.
Yeah, Perry, the junior, and UMS going to force a punt here. Good defense here by UMS. Look who's in there to help finish things off.
A young quarterback gets the ball out there in a hurry. I thought he gave him a chance to get that first down.
Now Poe will punt from the 10, and that might have got a little piece of it, but it will take a good Vigor roll up to about midfield, actually at the 48, and it's a special night here at UMS, not just because of a top 10 matchup, but another huge honor and a wonderful evening here tonight, honoring a wonderful young woman. Let's go down to Heather. Heather.
Yeah, a huge honorable night indeed. I am here with Miss Laura Roberts as it is Yellow Day today. Tell us what this is all about.
So Yellow Day is an annual celebration of life where we practice kindness and we live in courage, and for the most part, it's all about positive living and making other people happy.
So tell us the story behind it. It was because of your daughter who passed away. Tell us a little bit about her and why this is so special to you.
So Chrisanna she was a cancer patient at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital for 12 years. And the last tumor that she had 4 different times that the tumor came back, even with treatment. But the last time, with the last fight, the entire school dressed in yellow, which was the color she chose to live in. She was a pink and purple princess, but she lived in yellow. And to send positive energy to her in the hospital, they did a yellow day. The whole day was yellow dressed out, and then pep rally, and then the game. And we felt it. We felt that great energy. And we have continued it. She died about 5 days after that. And we have continued the tradition of Yellow Day ever since. Chrisanna was a very courageous person, and she had an opportunity to throw out the first pitch in a strikeout cancer softball game. At 9 years old, they asked her, what would you say to children or families who are fighting cancer? And at 9 years old, she said, fight hard, be strong. Sometimes you don't expect it. Sometimes things get in the way. But that's what life's about, fighting hard and being strong. And we embrace that every year on Yellow Day.
Absolutely, and it is a great turnout tonight.
Oh, it's an awesome turnout tonight. The whole day's been great.
Laura, we greatly appreciate you being here tonight, and thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you. I hope everybody else has a great Yellow Day.
We'll come back to that in a second. Great job, Heather. Not easy to have those conversations. Joe Lott at quarterback on 3rd and 15, and Vigor's defense is going to force 3 and out here. And I have goosebumps just hearing Heather talk with Laura. And just if there's one, there's so many charities that are worthwhile, but everybody, St. Jude, I know you've got a lot of experience with them. My wife, St. Jude is such a miraculous place. If you ever have an extra $1, send it to those fine folks to help people like Laura.
God bless you.
Great kick, and this one going to bound. Will it go all the way to the end zone? It will, but Vigor's defense with a
resounding statement right there, huh?
Pushing UMS back. And now the Wolves will get it back at the 20 with 7:53 to go. And, that was back in 2009, going back to Laura. So you think about this, Yellow Day has lived on every year for that, and just what a way to honor a beautiful young woman.
Well, she was a precious child, and she lived a lot longer because of St. Jude and the treatment she got. They couldn't eradicate it altogether, but she was beautiful, and I was at many event with Chrisanna, and we all loved her.
Now comes the UMS defense saying, all right, we see a Wolves defense. Now John Charles Ervin comes in to make the stop. And a loss on first down will drive the Wolves back 5.
Behind the line of scrimmage, Jim. Get them before they get started. And that's been the way that both defenses are now responding. Getting across that line of scrimmage and creating a potential loss. And they're getting them.
Bulldogs leading tackler in the season adds to it there. Brisker, thrown behind his intended receiver and went through the hands of Nagy. So he was trying to get that one back off to Perry. I don't think Perry was maybe quite expecting it. Let's see here. It was just a little, maybe throwing a little late in behind him. Now you got 3rd and 14 coming up. 2 really good defenses playing here tonight. Really good defenses playing here tonight.
Really, really good defense. I don't know if we've seen any defenses as physically imposing as Vigor's. And now UMS is really showing themselves here in the second half, too, after that Vigor drive.
Have a chess match between, they're going to have to hurry play clock down to 2. And, Marcus Cook calls a timeout there. Play clock, they were not going to get it off. So, they take the timeout, and that'll give us a chance to tell you about our great sponsors, including United States Coast Guard. They present our colors each week. Also, the Mobile County Sheriff's Office. Without them, we couldn't have the coin toss. Well, we couldn't show you the coin toss. We could still have it.
Still have it.
Yeah. Coin toss, scoring drive as well. And also Greer's, just been great partners of ours for a long time. They give us our starting lineup each and every week. And also Barrow Fine Furniture. They too have been a long-time partner of ours here on Friday Night Rivals. 3rd and 15 coming up. And now you're too crazy with the possession is going so quick, but at some point both coaches are going to start to think, all right, how many times are we going to touch the ball more with 7 minutes to go here in the 4th?
Well, here's the other thing. If UMS is able to hold here, that puts Vigor in punt formation.
They're going to punt it from back by their own goal line.
Yeah, and UMS has come close to getting one tonight. They both have.
Yep. Kerry Coleman in the backfield with Brisker. 3rd and 14. Brisker going to roll out to the right. Has some time. Flips it, but incomplete. Was well covered as he was trying to get it off to Benjamin, but it goes incomplete. And if he gets it, he's also going to have some problems there as he's got 3 Bulldogs around him. But boy,
the way UMS tackles, had a little chance of getting the first down for sure, but y'all just keep an eye on this.
So Blaylock is going to stand at his own 40.
Right.
I'm sorry, at the Vigor 40.
Mm-hmm.
Poe has done a good job to get the punts off tonight. And UMS they're going to put 10 up on the line of scrimmage. Poe kicked it up, and not a good punt at all. This one going to go out of bounds. See where they're going to mark it. It's not officially going to walk it back. This one is going to the 26-yard line, a 10-yard punt.
Yeah.
The pressure was coming, and it just went straight up and to the near side. And now special teams. How many times we talked about how big it's been in this game, and here we go now. UMS with great field position, and the Vigor defense with their backs against the wall after the short punt, and Joe Lott in at quarterback gives it off to Blaylock on the right side, and Blaylock has got a handful down to about the 20.
Blaylock's up for this. You can bet that. Loves to compete. Loves the contact.
Up to the 21. Picked up 6 on first down. And Hedge will split out at the top of the screen. He's a big receiver as well at 6'2". Lott back in at quarterback. And false start on UMS on the left side. Jack Ott's got going a little too soon, and I'll bring in 2nd and 9.
False start on the offense. 5 yards. Replay second.
Not a lot of penalties in this game, but that'll back UMS up 5 and bring up a 2nd and 9 at the 25. And they'll stay with Lott at quarterback.
A good athlete with the ball in his hands, y'all.
Wills in motion. Lott going to keep it himself. Lott cuts it back to the inside. Takes a big hit. Stays on his feet to fall inside the 20 into the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. Going to bring up 3rd down. And, you know, sometimes you see big guys, 6'3", about 195 pounds, not really known to want to stick their head up in there and get their nose dirty. Lott went right up in the teeth of that Wolves defense.
Yeah, he got hit pretty hard and kept on going. Yeah, you know, I've said all I can say. I'm just repeating myself. You're seeing what I'm seeing. Good player.
3rd and 3 for UMS. They stay with Lott. Lott gives it off to Blaylock, but great penetration by Towner and crew. Towner was first one up in there. I think Holcomb, the safety, was up in there. And
Towner was sitting with us in the pregame show, Jen. I'm just thinking to myself, who's going to block him?
So 4th and 3 from the 20. UMS on that drive, which they scored, they converted a 4th and 5 from the 10 to make it get the touchdown. I think Coach Curtis going to let this one go. Here's the touchdown they had on that scoring drive earlier in the half, and Terry Curtis lets the play clock run all the way down and now takes the timeout. 4:33 left. 4th and 3. And another big call here.
Scholar athletes include.
He's played great tonight. He's played great.
Farron Brown has. He's a junior. Farron Brown Jr. is a senior, 12th grader. Check this out. He's at Vigor. He's got a 4.32 grade point average at 20 on his ACT. Plays football, basketball, soccer, tennis.
That's it? That's
it? He's dual enrolled at 3 local colleges. South, Bishop State, and Coastal Alabama. I mean, his stuff just goes on and on. How about that? Olivia Moore is UMS-Wright Preps scholar athlete. She's a athlete in track and volleyball, and all-state high jumper as well, and great in school, obviously. And here we go, UMS for the lead.
All right, UMS going to try a 36-yard field goal. Kingston Fan up, and he has got it. Kingston Fan, the freshman. He's been kicking off tonight. He did not try the field goal, but instead comes in, and the freshman drills it from 36, and UMS on top, 10-7, 4.5 to go. I got to know these folks got to be proud to be part of this broadcast here tonight, including Hanson Super Tex. Give you our halftime show each and every week here on Friday Night Rivals, along with Andy Citron, injury attorneys. Our Scholastic Athletes of the Week are streaming, brought to you by Alabama, or as most people pronounce it down here, Alabama Orthopedic Clinic, where we do our pregame show each week as well. And also, Wendy's, our Giant of the Week. How about Kingston Fan, that giant freshman right there with a giant kick from 36. He's been handling the kickoff duties. Terry Curtis calls a timeout, puts the freshman in. If his Apple Watch was on right now, what's that heart rate at? It's got to be way off the charts.
Well, a game like this, it's going to come down to probably one play, and the play was the field goal.
Sends this one all the way inside the 5. Benjamin up the far side to about the 27. With
Not a bad return by Benjamin.
Yep, 4:22 to go. Each team with 2 timeouts.
Probably going to have to go away from what they've done good, Jim. What they've done well is run the football. But now you got to get a lot of yards in a short period of time.
4:20. They've had the 9-play drive that took 4 minutes and 5 seconds off, and Calvin Brisker back off to Barnes, and Barnes on the right side, and he's got a Wolves full first down across the 40. So he'll pick up 13.
If you pick up 13,
you get a USA Health Systems first down.
You got plenty of time. Impressive. Vigor not going away. Vigor not conceding a thing. Look at the blocking on the right side.
When you see that big back and you got the sideline, you just want to get him, let the sideline be your friend. Nobody wants to try to bring down Barnes, and this time he'll get about a yard. Got some folks watching this game. Texas, Steve Mask, former St. Paul's coach, in town watching the game. Also watching the game, Robert Cook. He's watching this one from right up Old Shell Road. He says about to throw a grill on the steak on the grill, but he hadn't been able to get out there. The game's been too good. He didn't want to leave his TV.
Doesn't have time to also stay over the grill.
Demetrius from Pritchard checking in, watching the game tonight as well. 2nd and 9 here for the Wolves. Vigor ranked number 8 in the state, defending 4A champs, and Brisker going to get wrapped up and dropped on the sack. Pressure coming. Ben Holberg, his 2nd sack of the year for the senior defensive end. Stepped up in the pocket and it just collapsed around him, and now 3rd and 13 coming up for the Wolves.
This is not exactly a family picnic out here. I'll tell you what, both these defenses not just making stops, getting violent behind the line of scrimmage. Young kid, good player.
Vigor 7 and 5 all time against UMS. 3rd and long. Brisker. Now he's going to pull it down, and he's going to get chased. Football's loose. Still loose. And recovered by the Vigor Wolves. Wow, that ball was bouncing around. Brisker had it knocked loose. UMS had a chance to get on it, but great awareness there by Holcomb. And Holcomb, just a freshman, able to get that one picked up.
Wow.
And we'll take a timeout. 4th down coming up. Vigor going to have to go for it with 2.5 to go. Friday Night Rivals brought to you by USA Health. Also by our friends at Roof Doctors. And Herc Reynolds will have 3 players of the game for you at the end of tonight to vote on. And City of Mobile and their Kindness Counts campaign, all a part of our Friday Night Rivals. Jim Cox, Dan Brett, and Heather Healy on the sideline. Vincent Early, our director here, and a great-looking crowd at UMS. 4th and 7 here for the Wolves.
This is high school football right here, Jim.
Vigor with just one timeout left, so they got to convert here. Brisker, the sophomore, with Coleman in the backfield from the gun. Looks left, looks right. Now wants to pull it down and take off. Can he get to midfield? Makes a move, dives, and he's going to be a yard short.
Clearly the 50-yard line is the first down, and clearly he didn't get there.
James Lee, the senior linebacker, I think is the one who got him. As Brisker trying to make some moves in the open field.
Joe Lott consoling the young quarterback.
Good coverage downfield, and then Brisker decides to take off and tries to make a move there. Wow, what a great open field tackle by James Lee, the senior.
He had to, help coming up, but by the time they got there, that was going to be a first down.
No doubt.
He had to make that tackle.
The UMS defense comes up with the stop, and now flag before the snap as they were going to give it to Bo Wills, who had come in motion. I think they got 12 on the. Yeah, there's 12 Vigor Wolves out there. They have
Substitution. 12 men on the field, on the defense. 5 yards, still first down.
So UMS gets five yards there on the 12 men on the field. Marcus Cook looks on, and Blaylock gonna pick up the first down, and inside the 40. What?
This is Blaylock time right here, Jim. This is when you have a back like Blaylock, you're very thankful. Well, you're thankful any game you've got Blaylock, but it's going to be his job to let the air out of the ball here.
Yeah, UMS won't have to snap this one till about 1:35. Can't say enough about this Vigor Wolves team here tonight, and really like the. If you're a Vigor Wolves fan, you gotta like the direction your program is headed with your young coach. As Wills is going to have another first down, and that'll seal this one with 1:31 to go. And UMS. This game was scoreless at the half, and a 36-yard field goal from the freshman Kingston Fan.
I'll tell you, he hadn't touched it much tonight, but he's looked good when he's had it.
Yep. Vigor takes their last time out with 1:24 left.
I'm going to talk.
Our Dr. Pepper player of the game here tonight, Cole Blaylock. Again, he's had a big.
Yep. Here's what Blaylock's done tonight, by the way. He has rushed it for 119 yards on 27 carries.
And had this.
And this was the play right here.
Yeah, fourth down, touchdown reception.
Tied the game after the extra point. And then, of course, field goal by the freshman has put UMS right on top.
Third touchdown reception of the season for Blaylock, to go with now over 800 yards on the ground, and UMS in the victory formation just has to take a knee with 1:24 to go here. And talking with Coach Curtis before the game, he was very impressed by what he had seen on film from this young Vigor team, young Vigor coaching staff over there, and I think you certainly saw why here this evening.
I think we all saw why.
No question.
And it's not like it came as a surprise to Vigor themselves, including Coach Marcus Crook.
I think that touchdown drive, that 9-play, 4 minutes off the clock, I mean, that's going to be something really for them to build on. They're off next week, and really somewhere to go offensively. And they are going to be a team to be reckoned with down the stretch, because that defense is salty over there on that Vigor sideline.
I agree. Interesting that Lott, who plays safety on defense, is basically playing safety right now.
Yep.
He's just back there in case there's some sort of a fumble and Vigor gets the ball, wants to try and return it. He's back there to make sure that doesn't happen.
You know, you saw Lott over there consoling UMS, doesn't even have to snap it again. And you saw after that stop on 4th down with Kelvin Brisker, you saw Lott over there kind of put his arm around the young quarterback from Vigor. You know, a lot of respect between these two teams out there in the field tonight. Hadn't played since 2007.
There's more respect now.
No doubt.
They were basically, you know, myths to each other. They hadn't been on the field together since 07.
Yeah, they hadn't played in 15 years. These kids were just starting school, a lot of them. So UMS stays perfect on the year, 5-0, perfect on the region. The victory here tonight, and you can see the disappointment there in Coach Cook.
Very evident disappointment.
But a lot of good Friday nights ahead for this Vigor team the rest of the season. And, you know, you always see this. We're really not talking about playoffs 5 weeks through the season. But, boy, you see those in-region latter round playoff games that take place. I don't think either one of these teams would like to see the other one. Like, just don't think we need to. There's Terry Curtis over talking with one of the Wolves players there. And our players of the game nominees for the Vigor Wolves: quarterback Kelvin Brisker, for UMS-Wright, Joe Lott.
Do it all.
Offense, defense, special teams, and also Cole Blaylock, the 100-yard plus night and the touchdown reception for the Bulldogs as they win it here 10-7. A hard-fought victory for UMS, and Heather is with Victoria's head coach Terry Curtis.
A hard-fought victory indeed, Coach. Tell me what was going through your mind the last 2.5 minutes of that fourth quarter.
Well, we, they had the one good drive on us and moved the ball really well, and then our defense stuck it in there and made a couple plays there at the end, and, you know, we made the field goal, and, really lucky to get out here with a win. They're a good football team.
Talk about that Vigor defense giving you so much ample problems for the last.
They're just so big, strong, and fast. All the things you want. That front's mighty good. And, we moved it a little bit at times, but really we knew we was going to have some field position. And once we was able to get some of that, then we was able to do some things.
You are still in the win column for the year. Talk a little bit about going into next week.
Well, we got an off week. We need it. We're tired and beat up and being small as we are, so we get an off week, so we'll take a few days off and then get ready for the second half of the season.
Yeah.
It's a tough region, and it's not going to get any easier.
Yeah, I was referring to that bye week. So
Exactly.
A few days off. I've got Dr. Pepper here to give you the game-winning trophy.
Congratulations,
Thank
Coach,
you.
on your
Appreciate
win.
it. Thank
On behalf of Coca-Cola and Dr. Pepper.
All right, thanks. Thank y'all for being here. We appreciate all y'all do for high school sports. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Big win for you. Anybody feeling sorry for the small, tired, beat up, unbeaten, ranked number one state in the state UMS-Wright Bulldogs? I don't think a lot of people are feeling sorry for them, right?
Describes them like, like a rescue dog or something. Rescue bulldogs. So they're all, he wasn't wrong. They're not that big. And they probably are wore out right now, especially with what Vigor did tonight. Really a great football game with two tremendous defenses.
Yeah, what an effort by that Vigor team, and again They got a lot of football left to be played here in the second half of the season as they suffer their second loss in the region, second loss overall on the year. But they're going to be a team to be. They're going to be a force the rest of the way in this region after they too have their bye next week and head down the stretch here in the second half of our Friday Night Rivals season. So the victory here tonight by UMS at home. I want to thank Dr. Pepper, Sonic, Coast Guard, Greer's, Barrow Fine Furniture, Hanson Supertex, Anti-Citron Injury Attorneys, Alabama Orthopedic Clinic. Did I screw it up again? Alabama? Did I say that? I think I screwed up at that. Alabama. You would think orthopedic would be the hard word. I got Alabama wrong twice. Might have had them wrong last Saturday, too. USA Health, also Roof Doctor, City of Mobile, and Hurt Reynolds. So for Heather Healy on the sideline, Vince Early, our director tonight, our great Friday Night Rivals crew, for Dan Brennan and Jim Cox. UMS hangs on for the victory. They stay perfect on the year. Terry Curtis now just 6 wins away from becoming the all-time winningest coach in Alabama history. Tonight, his team knocks off the Vigor Wolves 10-7 and a great one. 5A showing off tonight on Friday Night Rivals. Kingston Fan, a freshman, wins it from 36.